How you guys doing? My name's Mel Bernstein, the Dragon Man, and today I'm going to show you a fast course of how to rebuild flywheels. I get these flywheels in from all over the country, from other shops and bikers. I'm going to rebuild these 1976 shovel head flywheels. The first thing we do is glass bead everything so it's nice and clean. See how they come in? They're all rusted and everything. And the first thing we got to do is make sure the pinion shaft nut is tight. See, that's 1 3/16, and that gets torqued to 125 torque pounds. Okay, so that's done. These are the jigs I made, you know, to hold the flywheels. See, they're pretty easy to make. Like that. And I take this snap-on 500-pound torque wrench, and these big nuts go up to 400 pounds. You got to make sure those are tight. Okay, that one's tight. Because if those are loose, it's just going to, the sprocket shaft is going to spin. Okay, and we're going to take the pinion shaft side. See, it's got a keyway there where the keyway goes into the flywheel from the crank pin. See, there's all different kinds of crank pins. See, I used the 3-hole crank pins from Jim's Machining in California. The Harley Davidson crank pin only has, from the factory, only has 1 hole. So we're going to take the crank pin, set it in there. Everything's got to be real dry. Can't have any oil on any of this. Okay, we're going to take the crank pin nut, put that on. See, like that. And we're going to change the socket, and that's should be 1 and let's see, 5/16, and that gets torqued to 175. See, 175. We got to put this on, but we're not going to tighten it all the way up to 175 because I'll show you. We got to put it in the press, so we just get it snug like that. Here we're going to flip it over like that, and it takes 54 Torrington roller bearings. These are the long roller bearings from Torrington in New Jersey, and then we got the short bearings. So you go like that, and we put that on, see, just like that. Then we take the connecting rods. See that? The male connecting rod always goes forward. See, it'll go on just like that. These are my rebuilt rods. See, nice and tight, they don't even move. See, it's got clearance there up to a 6/1000 of an inch. Got to make sure all your tapers are nice and dry. Then we're going to take the sprocket shaft side, see, and put that on there. See? Take the crank pin nut, put that on there, and that gets torqued to 175. But we're not going to go all the way to 175 because I'll show you what we're going to do next. Now there's all kinds of different flywheels. I could also shave the flywheels. See how thick these flywheels are? Yeah, these are shaved flywheels. Look how much I take off. See how skinny it is? And the reason we take all that weight off is it gives you better, faster throttle response. You know, when you give it the gas, the motor will rev up faster. And then I drill a hole right now. That's your new timing mark. So we could shave flywheels too. Okay, and we take it like this, right off the jig, and we go to the press. We're going to put it on the press just like that. See, the crank pin has to be 90 degrees here. There, you get it right in the middle of the press there. Okay, tighten that really good. Now you got to get the torque wrench. $175. You just do this until it clicks. Okay, that one's tight. Okay, now that one's tight. See, by using the press like this, it gets the flywheels in the ballpark to be trued. That's the next process. We got to true them. Okay, so we loosen that up. See? We take your flywheel assembly and we go to the Harley Davidson truing stand right over here. These are dial indicators. And let's see how far off they are. See the dial indicators? See them moving? See that? Now when it goes forward, that means this flywheel is out and it has to go back. So we just take this wedge over here and we put it on the opposite side and tap this down. Okay, just like that. Okay, that was really good. Okay, just has to go a little more. It takes a lot of practice to know how much you have to hit it to get it trued up. As it gets closer and closer, you hit it with the hammer lighter and lighter. Okay, look at that, man. Look at those dial indicators. They're not even moving. Very, very little. See that? Okay, now what I do, I let these sit overnight because that's really not the true measurement over there. Because the tapered crank pin actually sucks in overnight and it will change a little bit. Okay, let me show you one more important thing. Here, come around this way. Okay, sometimes I get complaints. Well, you just rebuilt my flywheels. I went 10 miles down the road and the motor seized up and I flew over the handlebars. Now I'll tell you what happens. Okay, this is very common with stuff like this. Let's say you're changing the flywheels or you're going to 80 cubic inch from 74 to 80 cubic inch and you're using the same cam cover. The cam covers take different pinion shaft bushings. See that hole over there? This is a pinion shaft bushing. This is the early pinion shaft bushing. Okay, this is the late pinion shaft bushing, see, which doesn't have a hole because the oil goes around and then in. Let me show you the difference here. Okay, let me find one here with a... Okay, see this one here, I'm turning it, there's no hole, see, in the pinion shaft. That's the way it gets oil. The later ones, this is a later pinion shaft than a shovel head, the oil goes through the pinion shaft, through the flywheel vane, and then through the three-hole crank pin, and oil the connecting rods. Okay? Now, this one, here, look at that. This one has a side oiler. See, that's the early one. See that little hole? That's the way the oil goes in. Now, if you mismatch these, if you take this one here that doesn't have the hole in the side, see, and it's straight, you're not going to get oil. And that's why, if you don't oil the 54 Torrington bearings, the connecting rods are going to seize on the crank pin. That's the most popular complaint I get all the time. So you got to keep that in mind. The cam covers look the same on the outside, but the inside, the pinion shaft bushings are different. If there's anything I say you don't understand, just give me a call. 719-683-2200. Okay? Right now, we got a perfect set of connecting rods, all rebuilt, ready to go into the motor tomorrow morning. I got all these to do during the week. See, they come in all rusted and everything from, let's say from, Southern California, Florida, where there's a lot of humidity and salt water, and that's why they rust up like this. There's a real lot more I could tell you about flywheel rebuilding, but anything you guys want to know, I'll be happy to help you on the phone. At least you got the basic idea. Have a great day. Hope you learned something.